So, as we're doing our toilet install, we're also doing some electrical work. As a part of that, we need to figure out how to take these bare end cables and add connectors so that they can connect into the power block and into the toilet. So we need things like these, or more often, these. So let's get right into doing these connections. All right, to be able to do the cable connections, we need some things. First, you need your connector that you're going to use. Now, the end of this cable I'm putting onto a special power block. So I'm going to use a fork connection like this. And I'm using the yellow because this is 12 gauge wire. The yellow is for the 12 to 10 gauge. We're going to need a set of wire strippers. I highly recommend a set like this because it makes it so much easier, and it also makes it more consistent. You combine that with a set of ratcheting crimpers. The crimps with a tool like this are better than you can do it with using anything else. And lastly, I highly recommend using a heat gun. You can also use a torch or a lighter, but a heat gun, in my opinion, is much safer because there's no fire. So to do the connection, it is very simple. You just stick your wire into the stripper, and you strip your wire. We need a little more than that. All right, so now that you have your wire stripped, your connector can go on. Now, some people say you shouldn't twist the strands together. I do, because that makes it easier to stick into the connector. Stick it all the way in there. Now, on the crimper, you have your different colors. If you use yellow, then if you have a yellow connector, use the yellow setting. Line up the edge here on the crimper with the back edge here on the connector. Just like that. And you go until you can't go any further. And there we have a crimp. Now, before we do the heat gun treatment, we test our crimps. Always test your crimps. More than once I've had a crimp fail on me. And now we have to take down the heat shrink. So you just take your heat gun, just apply a little bit of heat. Sometimes it takes a while. All right, things to notice. You know you're done with the heat when you see that the sheathing here, the heat shrink, goes clear, and it may not show up on camera very well. There's a little bit of squeeze out of the adhesive. That's how you know that the heat shrink has fully shrunk. And that is how you do a wire connection for a boat. Pretty simple, helps seal the wire from corrosion. Once you know how to do it, it is really easy. The hard part is really just knowing how to do the electronics, which we can get into another time. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.